Hello everyone, welcome today edition on integration. I want to perhaps invite you to explore together with me the process of integration, because I remember our last talk we laid emphasis on ecumenical interfaith dialogue and also enculturation. Today's talk is a quite a bit on a more deeper level, in a sense that will bring all together and begin to look at or seek to achieve a sense of progress within that spectrum. Just for your own information, do subscribe as often as you can, comment in various talks that you hear us shared in this program, because it is very helpful to get your own views on certain areas so that it can help deepen our dialogue or conversation. So comment, share, subscribe, and then follow. Thank you very much appreciated. Now, the term integration is a process of being uniformed or formed in one unit. So in the light of our previous talk on interfaith, we can then ask the question, how do we begin a journey of uniformity? How do we begin a journey of integration, a journey of, although we might differ in various areas, but what is that key area that unites us together? The term peace came up, and it was quite a really interesting one for us to engage with. I was talking to a colleague, associate friend of mine. He also brought up another commonality that we need to concentrate on is, and this mystical being, God, because all religions have this mystical, you can call it spiritual image that we pay homage to, and that's God. However you paint it, but it is there. So if we all have this consciousness of this mystical being in our lives, how do we bring that character to be? I remember during my theological courage period, or theological formation period, when I was in convent, I think it was in a breakfast with an English lady who we had at the time. We had Africans that came to the campus to study for a period of time, and then she was kind of struggling in getting acquainted, to know them, getting to involve in conversation with them. And then she came to me and said, she called me and said, Joel, you know what, these Africans ministers that came, she's trying, but she doesn't know how to relate to them. And my immediate response to her is, however you want to be treated, treat them that way. And I believe, people of God, that statement or that word that I gave her, it kind of warms her spirit, and she felt motivated. Yes, she can, where to break the ice from now. So it is very important for us to know that in the process of uniformity, we need to embrace our own nature. Look at, perhaps we call it, look at the table being turned around. How will people see us? How will people struggle to engage with us? In what way can we expect them to perhaps let down their guards in order to kind of give way, leeway to invite us into their space? And that would be vice versa. So, but may I kind of introduce from my own perspective, gospel perspective, synaptic. I think this is taken in the book of Matthew chapter 7 verse 12. It goes like this: do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. That's powerful. that is powerful. In other words, for those of us who perhaps, I don't know how much that is highlighted in the Jewish book, or in a Muslim book, in a Hindu Sikh book, and atheist or many religious group, how that is stated. But I can only present my own religious perspective from a particular source, and that is the Bible. Which is what we subscribe to in a light of reference, in our characters, in our doings, in our reasoning, in our moral. We take that from the Bible as a constitution that guides our ethical, moral standards of life. Now, the ideology of doing unto others as you desire to do unto you, that's powerful. I believe that will be a keynote to throw in the light of process of integration. Integration is not overnight thing. Integration is not limited in a certain period. Integration is ongoing process, a process that opens up the knowledge of any party, individuals, getting to know them in certain character, certain ways, certain behaviors, certain, perhaps within certain arena or certain sphere. It could be politics, it could be education, it could be work sphere, it could be many ways. You might find that your opinions and your religious ideas differs, but in the light of that difference, how do we build a commonality? The commonality is what helps us to open a ground for integration. And integration is basically bringing your opinion and my opinion and everyone else's opinion into a common ground and begin to ascertain ways we can believe or grind them together, like a mesh them together, so that we can have a fruitful outcome in our integration. You might have, that's why the old saying, not old saying, but it's still current, we're different in many ways, but we can argue in many things, but we can still have a point whereby we can just say, you know what, let this be a leeway that we can be able to achieve a meaningful outcome. So that is the point that we need to perhaps reflect on, so that we can gain a meaningful outcome. Integration is a powerful arena that it is hard to crack. So we must own note of that. It's a powerful and a difficult arena. It is hard to crack. So you can have a different opinion, but the most important thing, there is a space whereby you can still communicate, you can still in conversation with each other, you can still dialogue with each other on impending issue. So never give up in any arena that brings about integration. Integration is a way forward in any relationship, in any partnership. Integration is a powerful source. Integration is about, you might differ in many ways, but you have a central point. You can begin to look up and say, okay, let's put this not on hold, but let's leave this pending while we are reflecting, while we are processing certain areas. So integration is a powerful thing, and then it arouses morals, it arouses thinking, it arouses mindset. Okay, well, even integrity, sometimes that is at stake. Integrity at stake. Why would you give in? Why would I believe in that? So we might differ, but we can still build something that will bring about meaningful outcome. So I thought that knowing that treating others as we desire to be treated will be a starting point in the process of integration. So I encourage us, whichever religion we believe in, whichever sect we hold allegiance to, in any process you find yourself in, or in any position or in any capacity, always be available to embrace the process of integration. Integration is what unites us together. Integration is what brings a common goal among those that we live in a community, those that we live in society at large, and even in global context. Integration. I know that the quest of integration brings about United Nations and NATO, etc. It's what about integration. It's about desire to integrate, desire to be one, desire to be in unity, desire to be in uniform entity in a global context. That is that passion that brings about many unified global company, sphere, association. That is the quest. So I will, from a layman perspective, begin a journey of where we are. How can we begin to engage with each other, look at things that we have in common, things that can build our lives together, things can be fruitful in our collective journey, things can be an immense healthy in terms of incorporating in our collective path. Look at it and see how we can water that, how we can keep it alive, how we can keep it very much on a healthy mode in order to stand testing time. Because testing time, that many things that will come as a way of questioning that integrity. But because that we have formed that uniform opinion that can guide our lives, that can build our society, that can build our world together. So I believe that we can have a better world. And I remember, whatever seed that we sow, as we're sowing a seed, our children will come up. The young ones will come up. Whichever angle that, they will build upon that. So my suggestion is, irrespective what you have or your opinion, your perception, your ideology, your concept, let us be mindful that we begin with how we treat one another, how we embrace each other in within that process. And that will help us to perhaps promote our quest in integration, promote our quest in uniformity. Because when we have a world that is unified, in spite of our different opinions, the fact that we're unified, we can have a better, fruitful world, progressive one indeed. So, people of God, everyone, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to perhaps listen to me. Remember, it is a joy to be with you, and I'm much looking forward to hearing your views. Do subscribe, do comment, do follow, and then give me feedback. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye.